So the way that the third world Marxist left formulated the sort of issue of gender and sexuality, they didn't really use those words, but the basic problem as they saw it was this, that it was clear that the systems of imperialism, capitalism, and racism could not be overturned without unity between men and women working together towards revolution. The concern was that by paying attention to gender and sexuality, or to the problems that were particular to women, that this would be divisive and it would distract from the so-called primary struggle against imperialism. Feminism was understood to be synonymous with separatism, like that women should go off and form their own movements, and therefore counter to that united struggle, that unity that was required for racialized and colonized peoples, right? At the same time, Iranian women in the ISA were not just sort of submitting to the dominance of male revolutionaries. Like their American counterparts from many different racial backgrounds, they had their own deeply compelling affective attachments to revolution. They wanted a free and democratic Iran just as much as the men. Furthermore, as the feminist scholar Minu Moalem has explained, the chance to become valued for one's political commitments and activity, rather than only for marriage and social reproduction, was empowering for many Iranian women leftists. Empowering, but not liberating, to quote one former ISA member. So in the book, I discuss the gender and sexual politics of the ISA in detail. I consider how differences within the ISA around class were sort of managed through gender, right, in order to maintain unity. There was what I call an ideology of gender sameness, combined with a set of practices the feminist scholar Parveen Paidar has called masculinization. The idea was that among leftists, men and women were already equal, as this image shows, right? Women can be revolutionaries too, right? Women, of course, were eager to prove that they could do anything men could do. But the terms of this equality, the terms of belonging within the movement, were contingent upon women hiding their bodies with baggy clothes, cutting their hair short, refusing to wear makeup and jewelry. In short, erasing any signs of femininity in order to prove they were serious, quote unquote, serious revolutionaries, and in order not to distract the men. This was partly a reaction against the association of femininity with the westernized bourgeoisie in Iran that was complicit with the Shah's dictatorship. Miniskirts, makeup, hypersexualization, and commodification of women's bodies, this was all a part of imperial modernity. And the category of the feminine was tainted by this set of associations. It was a degraded category, which rendered the female body a site of corruption of the nation and weakness for the movement. By covering up and adopting a masculinist version of revolutionary comportment and style, women could redeem themselves and reinvent themselves as revolutionary subjects worthy of respect. Gender sameness and masculinization were features of other revolutionary leftist movements as well, which shared an association of femininity with weakness, sexual objectification, westernization, and complicity with the bourgeoisie or with capitalism. I trace some of those connections and similarities in the book, but the other important link was the idea that issues of women's oppression, as they said at the time, could only be solved after the socialist revolution. The primary struggle was against imperialism, and everything else was secondary.